In this great movement, Saving Scotland. And I'd like to pay tribute to all of you for coming here today to risk ridicule, abuse, loss of friends, silencing, but you've still come here, and it's fantastic. And you're here to stand up against oppression. And when the history books are written, you can say, I was there. Now, I'm a scientist, but I'm also a son, I'm a husband, I'm a father, and I'm a grandfather. Actually, grandfathers haven't been mentioned very much. It's mostly grannies who die. I feel rather left out. And I'm here because I want to do something to create a world, a Scotland that my children and my grandchildren can live in the future. Somewhere that's worth living in. Now, why are we here? Well, in March, unprecedented powers were given to the government. The Coronavirus Act 2020 was passed. And the original intention of this, apparently, was to save the NHS. And what's happened since then? Well, so as I remember it, Scotland was a society where we loved life. And it's been turned into somewhere where we just fear death. And that's an abomination. The government and the mainstream media have instilled fear into the population. And most of the population aren't here because they're still in fear. They've destroyed our livelihoods, our education, our culture. And they've stripped the joy out of life. And we're here to build a movement which is founded on love and trust. And something which can help us to remove this fear and can build a society which is worth living in. And that's why we're here. A Scotland that's fit for our children and our children's children. Now, I have three messages here for you. And the first one is a message of reassurance, and that is that we have very little to fear from COVID-19. My second message is one of warning. And it's a warning that we have everything to fear from our governments. And my third message is one of hope, that with Saving Scotland movement, based on love and mutual respect, we can build a society that's worthy of Scotland's people. So what's my message of reassurance? That we have little to fear from the virus? Well, the information's already there. It's in our Office for National Statistics, it's in the National Records of Scotland, and it's been really well analysed by the Oxford Centre for Evidence-Based Medicine. That's where we should look for our information. Don't go to the BBC. And we know that the infection fatality rate, as we've heard, is that same as that of a bad flu. This COVID-19 is dangerous to the elderly and those with underlying health conditions. But to the young and healthy, it's really of little consequence at all, and certainly not dangerous to children at all. There have been no deaths of children under 15 in the whole of Scotland from COVID-19. 80% of people are asymptomatic, 99.9% of people will survive if they're infected. We have existing immunity, T-cell immunity, as a result of being exposed to previous coronaviruses. We've got effective treatments for hospitalised patients, and we've heard things about, and we're learning more and more about that, and vitamin D, etc. So from that point of view, there is nothing to fear. And also the epidemic is absolutely over. We've had less than 10 deaths in Scotland per week for the last 7 weeks. 5 times more deaths are occurring due to flu at the moment than to COVID-19. It's killed less than 1.1% of the Scottish population, not 10%, as a recent opinion poll taken showed the Scottish population to believe. So they believed it's 100 times, killed 100 times more people than it actually died. Absolutely ridiculous. What we have to do is remain shield the vulnerable. What we should let this virus pass through the population, gain immunity, and create a situation where it's safe for any people who are shielding to come out again. And we ought to get on with our lives.